Okay, here we go. We are live on another Sunday night. And I have a great topic for you guys tonight. I'm going to let everybody just get in here. Hold on. We have a Facebook issue. Facebook does not like my show notes. Ken, I don't know if you can fix that on the back end. Let's see if I can't get into the edit. Facebook does not like the fact that I have joined my newsletter and my online store. They don't like any links in these show notes. They have removed 35 of my videos. So I guess we will not be streaming on Facebook tonight. So I just have to note to self. I just noticed that yesterday that they removed a significant number of my videos. So if you're missing my videos over on YouTube or Facebook, that would be why. So from here, what we're doing today, so we're streaming live to my YouTube channel. We're streaming live to my LinkedIn page. And then we have a really cool partnership. And so Ken Somerville from It's All About the Biology has invited me to collaborate and stream to his channels, his channel, Ken Somerville, as well as It's All About the Biology. And so Ken is actually backstage right now. So Ken, what I will do is I'll let you.
Hi. And I can't fix the Facebook stuff. You can't have more than 10 links. So.
Well, what they don't like is they don't like the links at the top of the show notes that say subscribe. Here's the full script account. They don't like that stuff, which is just so aggravating. I'll just say it like that. But anyway, yeah. So Ken, if you could, I know you've got a hold of the banners there. So what would be great is if you want to drop the links in here, short of me going and searching for the banners for your show. Yes, awesome. So I'll let you just move those banners in and out for your show, as well as It's All About the Biology. And then, yeah, all the links would be awesome. Yes, just like that. So fun. This is so great. Yeah, awesome. Okay. No, you're not going outside. Sit down. Okay. So we got all the technical issues hopefully out of the way. I will deal with Facebook later. I'm just let me see if I can remove this here. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go onto Facebook to do that. And yes, Mad Chick, we just started. And hey, Lily, it's nice to see you in here. So yes, we just started. So today's show, we were going to go live with this show last week, and we had some massive technical issues. I had massive technical issues on my part. We were trying to connect so we could stream to It's All About the Biology as well as Ken's page. And just was never able to get things going. So we are back at it this week, and we're talking about gum chewing. Now, before we really get into this topic, if you are a gum chewer, I want you to drop a link or drop a message in the notes that you like gum. Do you gum chewer? Give me a thumbs up. If you don't like gum, give me a thumbs down. I personally despise gum chewing. Besides the fact, I'm just going to give you my real raw opinion, but then what is coming next, what I'm going to talk about gum today, is not my opinion. It is actually solid data, new studies that have come out about gum chewing and what is in gum. And a lot of my patients, they'll say, I chew the natural stuff. So even if you chew the natural stuff, you're going to want to listen up. But yeah, so Mad Chick could never chew gum and walk at the same time. So just keep walking. Yeah, it's way better. What's interesting, so when patients walk into my office, gum chewing, candy in the mouth, like all of that, I always make people spit it out because a couple of reasons. when they sit down in the chair and I'm adjusting their neck, I don't want people to suddenly go and choke. So I do make everybody spit it out. I also, though, just despise the habit, so I make them spit it out. So there's a couple of things. But the other thing is, I cannot stand the smell of whatever the flavor is emanating from somebody's mouth. I have a thing with smells, you guys. Okay. So I have a few things going on there. Now, the other thing, and these are just the funny pieces until we get into the data. But when people go to spit gum out, and most of the containers in my office, they're just there for paper. So I don't keep bags in them, and then I recycle the paper. And people will go over to the container and they can see that there's no bag in the container, and they'll either go to spit it straight from their mouth or go to take it from their mouth and throw it in the container. And I have to go, whoa, no, let me give you a Kleenex. So I feel like there's this level of people who chew gum don't particularly care that when they throw their gum away, it either goes on a sidewalk, it sticks to the side of a container that then a human has to then peel off. I just find this habit so invasive. So those are my emotional triggers when it comes to gum. Hey, Howie, nice to see you in here, my friend. I'm sure Howie's got some thoughts on gum chewing. Mad Chick says, I don't think I've chewed gum in 30 years. It used to make my jaw ache, but blowing bubbles was fun. So we're actually going to talk about jaw pain and headaches, because a lot of people will actually chew gum to relieve stress. Or if they have a stress headache, they'll think, oh, I have to chew gum. And then it actually makes it much worse. And we'll get into that as well. Yes. So there it is right there from Food Forest. Howie, gum is gross. And I also don't think that people recognize that when it sounds horrible and it looks horrible. And if you're in customer service and you're chewing gum, by the way, I just need to do the emotional dump about gum before we get into all the things, because you're going to hear it all through it. But if you're in customer service, if I walk into a store and your employees are chewing gum, serving me some kind of customer service, whether they're at the cash register or helping me find something in a store, like, that is not okay. I think we need to have better standards for ourselves. It just is not professional. Okay, we have all my emotional stuff out of the way. I think I'm cleansed of my gum traumas, and then I'll share one last gum trauma with you, but you're gonna have to stick around for that. And that's like probably the worst gum trauma of all of them. So I'll share that a little later in the show. Let's see. So Magic says, I don't see anyone else's messages. I went out and came back in. So I think it would probably depend on which channel you are coming in from. So we've got 2 people coming in from Ken's channel, 5 on It's All About the Biology, and then 3 are coming in from my channel. So you're not going to see comments on, if you so Mad Chick, if you came in on my channel, you won't see the comments from other people who are streaming in from other channels. And I don't know that there's a way to connect that and make all the comments. No, there is not. Okay, I didn't think so.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. So, but yeah, that's it. I love that we just Ken's just gonna pop in and out as we go. So yeah, so that's what we got going. But if you're streaming in from Dr. Paula Ruffin or my LinkedIn channel, thank you so much. And of course, if you're here from It's All About the Biology and Ken's channel, thank you very much for being here for this show. Super grateful to Ken for hosting us on his show here. And so I'm excited to bring you some really good information. All right. I think we got some people in here. I think I've done enough intro. So let's get into it. So gum chewing, there was actually just a recent study, and let me pull up my notes here. And this particular study, where did she go? And then I'm going to talk to you about ways to, if you're a gum chewer, what should you do about it, and how, what are some other things that you can do in lieu of chewing gum? Now, the thing is, most people chew gum for a few different reasons. So they might chew gum because they just want to freshen their breath. I have a good friend of mine. She happens to be a chiropractor. She's my partner in crime on Chiropractic is Sexy, which you'll also see streaming here as well. And she has had Invisalign. And so after she would eat, she would put a piece of gum in her mouth to get the food out so that she could put her Invisalign back in, because she said it was the only thing that pulled the food from her molars so she could put her Invisalign back in. And she said brushing her teeth didn't quite do the job. So I can see that idea. She said she would just chew it for a minute and then spit it out. But some people will chew gum all day long. They want to freshen their breath. They think that gum helps them to curb their appetite. They think it helps keep them from snacking. And so again, going into busting those myths as well. They'll chew gum because of stress or anxiety, which I mentioned earlier. And if you have a stress headache, you're going to make your stress or your jaw problems worse. And I'll get into that. Some people they chew gum because they feel like it's going to help with focus or concentration. And then some people just do it out of habit. So there's a multitude of reasons that people want to chew gum. And whatever your reason is, or if you know someone who chews gum, here's the study that came out. So this is whether it's regular gum or whether it is the natural gum, is that the study came out of UCLA, and it found that one piece of gum can release up to 3,000 microplastic particles within the first 8 minutes of chewing. Now, I've done a couple of other shows recently on microplastics and the dangers of microplastics. And we have, according to another study that was on a previous show, which I would have to look up. It's really just been about within the last month that I did that show. And there is, I think we have the equivalent of like 4 or 5 bottle caps, plastic bottle caps in our brains because of all the plastics in our world, in our food, in the body care products, the phthalates. So phthalates are like pretty scented things. So like think of a candle or a Glade plug-in. Those are plasticizers, those scents, and those have microplastics in them. But then we have microplastics in our food. So if you think of something like butter that went through plastic tubing that was made, and now you're eating the butter, and it doesn't matter if it's organic, grass-fed, the most pure butter, or just a regular conventional butter, it's gone through plastic tubing. And so anytime things go through the plastic tubing, it's going to have microplastics in it. So this is when it's made, we're still getting all of these microplastics. So if you chew gum every day, that is about 30,000 plastic particles a year entering your body just from the gum. We're not even talking about, like I said, packaging in your butter or the plastic that goes over your meat or your vegetables or anything like that. So I'm going to catch up on, some messages here in a second. And P Squared, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. And Mad Chick, let's see, water will freshen your breath. I find water, or I just do, I keep like a little essential oil of spearmint with me, and I put a couple of drops on my tongue and I swish that around. and it works like a charm. Apples, I carry apples with me because I think apples are a great breath freshener as well. So see how he's dropping the gold here. Yes, water will freshen your breath, so will apples. And 4 out of 5 dentists survey recommended. I guess the fifth one didn't accept a bride. Yeah, absolutely. I feel well, and cucumbers. So any fresh vegetable like that, fruit, cucumbers, and celery, carrots, like all of those things will freshen your breath. Now, I'm going to go back into this study for a minute, but also think about why, if you have bad breath or if you feel like you have to constantly be freshening your breath, what's going on? Do you have a gut issue? A lot of times, bad breath is actually coming from your gut, not your mouth. And, if you have like gum disease or some kind of, you've got a root canal that's gone bad, that can cause bad breath as well. But most of the time when you have bad breath, it's coming from the stomach. It's coming from poor gut function. And so we have to start thinking about why? Ask yourself, if you chew gum, why do you chew gum all the time? And if it's because I just always feel like I have bad breath, then that's a whole different set of problems. And chewing gum is actually only going to make it worse. Yes, more water and an apple for sure. P Squared says, I was never a gum fan, maybe Bazooka when I was a kid because I liked the comics. That's a good memory, the Bazooka. Yeah, that was great. And the sugar, I can still get the little sugar chunks in there when you chew it. It was really good. Watermelon. Yeah, these are all. And of course, we're coming into summer now. So we're going to be able to have lots and lots of access to all these really good, healthy, high water fruits and vegetables that are going to be wonderful for your body. And actually it helps your skin as well, just by eating these good hydrating foods. So the crunchy flat bubble gum from oh my God, that is so funny. I always think of Wacky Packs, I think was the name of it. Yeah, good bacteria starts in the mouth. Masticating is so great. So masticating is great. So chew your food for lots of digestive enzymes. So since Howie brought this up, I will, let's address this piece, is that a lot of people they'll chew gum because they think it diminishes their appetite, when just the opposite is true. So when you put a piece of gum in your mouth, it starts the enzymatic process. So your body is actually thinking that it's going to get food. So it increases the gastric juices. It increases the signals to the brain for hunger. So chewing gum does not diminish the hunger. It doesn't diminish your ability to eat food, and then it just increases your appetite, and then you actually go eat more. So that is a myth, that chewing gum will help you to not be as hungry. Okay, hold on. The dog's knocking at the door again.
And I'll just jump on for a second, guys. Okay. Just to let you guys all know, there's the 2 channels running now. So the comments, the live chat is on both channels. So if you're not seeing the comments that are being brought up, it's because it's on the other channel.
Yeah. Thanks for clearing that up, Ken. And thanks for being here for this video. This is great. So consider that. And if you know people who decide that they want to chew gum because they think it's going to help their hunger, a lot of people who are on diets will chew gum because they don't want to eat, and yet it's actually doing a disservice. You're better off eating good, high quality protein, drinking a lot of water, getting some healthy fat. That's far better for satisfying your hunger than it is for than gum chewing is. So if we go back to what do all these plastics do? When we get these plastics coming into the system, this is actually, it causes a tremendous amount of inflammation. And of course, hormone disruption. We talk about hormone disruptors. And if you've heard of that term, just let me know in the comments. Have you heard of hormone disruption? Well, we live in a world of hormone disruption. And so really the idea behind this is to help everybody to recognize where are all the sources of hormone disruptors coming from, so that then we can take more action. So we can actually make better choices and eliminate as many of those sources as possible. So hormone disruptors are plastics for absolute sure. The microplastics, again, like I mentioned earlier, that get into the food, they get into your drinks, they get into your water, even like sparkling water. So inside of any can, but if you're drinking sparkling water because you're like, oh, I don't want to drink soda, inside of that can is a plastic liner. So there's microplastics, and then you get aluminum also from inside the can that goes straight up to the brain. So we've got to really be conscious of this. I've been drinking Topo Chico in a glass bottle, which because I love a good sparkling water. It is acidic, so I don't drink a ton of it. But I then found out that Topo Chico has like the highest level of glyphosate, which is a hormone disruptor, which is Roundup. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So now I'm buying Pellegrino in a bottle, and Pellegrino has actually been shown to be the cleanest. So again, it's just every time you learn something, you want to then go, oh, okay, what's then the next thing I can do? Because if you keep piling on all the things you're doing, that's when we get this higher concentration of things. So, and I know it's all around us. It can feel very frustrating because it's like, I don't even know what to eat anymore. I don't even know what to drink anymore. But it's just taking, those little steps each and every day. And of course, that's why you guys watch me. And for all of you new who are tuning in, I hope you find this valuable, and that my whole overall goal is to just be able to provide simple, valuable information so that you can then take action on it. Like, I want things to be easily actionable, and then they'll have a bigger impact on your health. So there's so much confusion. There's so much noise out in the world when it comes to nutrition and health and wellness. And so what do you choose? What do you do? And I hear these, I had a patient come in a couple of weeks ago, and he says, do you know Dr. Gundry? And I know a lot of you guys watching, follow a lot of health and wellness shows, and Dr. Gundry's been around a really long time. And I said, yeah, I'm familiar with Dr. Gundry. And he said not to eat blueberries because blueberries have phytic, is it the phytic acid? Or it might be the phytic acid, I think, that's inflammatory in the blueberry or something like that. And I said, I gotta call BS on that. You can tell people not to eat a blueberry. In my humble opinion, I think a blueberry is one of the most perfect foods that you can possibly eat. And so you tell people not to eat blueberries, and then they get frustrated and they go off and they eat a Snickers bar because they're like, why bother? So I feel like that those are kind of like extremist, and not necessarily opinions, because yes, blueberries have phytic acid in them, but it's extremist information, and it does not serve you, because then again, there we go. P squared, right? There we go. Yeah. So he's got some okay information, but I cannot get behind everything he says. Let's see. Magic, he's on the other. Oh yeah, there you go. Yep. Depending on which channel you're coming in from, you won't see all the comments. Eat organic, and remember, when you grow it, you'll enjoy your food a whole lot more. Amen to that. I was just out clearing out my garden today, so getting it prepped for the season. So I cannot wait. So Silly Lily says, is there any truth in erythritol and chewing gum actually helping prevent cavities and tooth decay by inhibiting the growth of cavity-causing bacteria for those who still chew gum? So this is a great question. I believe the studies were actually around xylitol for that. However, these are called sugar alcohols. So erythritol, xylitol, maltitol, any of those sweeteners. Now, again, we're talking gums all across the board are going to have microplastics in them. So, so then we can get into what they're sweetened with. So the whole, doesn't really matter what it's sweetened with, whether it's sugar or sugar alcohol or stevia or anything like that, because you're still getting the microplastics. However, when we're talking about these sugar alcohols actually cause disruption of the gut microbiome. And this is something I discovered by accident many years ago. I was buying these, it was like a Mounds bar, but it was made by I think Designs for Health. So pretty, reputable supplement company. And they had these, they were super high in protein. They tasted so decadent, and that should have been my first clue. And this is probably, this could have been 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. And I would eat one in the morning. And about mid-afternoon, I would be doubled over in pain. I mean, crazy, doubled over in pain. And almost to the point where it was very difficult to work. I was so bloated and nothing was coming out either way. So you're kind of stuck in pain. And come to find out, it's the maltitol. So if you are somebody, you have bloating, whether it's just daily bloating, whether it's excessive bloating, if you notice it comes and goes throughout the day, you might want to evaluate what you're eating and see, does it have sugar alcohols in it? And you just need to eliminate those. They are so disruptive to the gut microbiome. So I just highly recommend avoiding them, period. And so is there any, when we talk about it, is it helpful for cavities? Just go brush your teeth, just go brush your teeth. You can use, I use an all natural toothpaste. You can use toothpaste that have microcrystalline MCHC, microcrystalline hydroxyapatite, which is a type of calcium, which helps to clean the teeth, and it actually helps to rebuild the enamel. There are some toothpastes that have silver in them, and the silver helps to rebuild the enamel as well. It's good for the gums. So there's a lot of different sources that you can use for cleaning your teeth, and that's what I would do. Just take good care of your teeth in other ways. And let's see, Snickers. I know. I did go with Dr. Peabody to a Kentucky Derby event last night, and they had these really wonderful truffles. And I had one bite of each truffle, and it was really good. I had one little bite of 3 little truffles, and because I don't usually eat that stuff. It was really good, but then I felt sick for hours. It was just way too much sugar. So again, when you're not used to that stuff and you think you're like, yes, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a bite of this. Ugh, yeah, can destroy you. It's going to get to the point where we won't know what and what not to eat. Right. Exactly, Lily. And that's what I mean. It's like, so when you have people, and then you've got Dave Asprey, from Bulletproof, and he's all about, don't eat vegetables because they're full of oxalates, and those are little crystals that can cause inflammation as well. And yes, some people have an issue with that, but I don't want to get too far into the weeds on oxalates. We can, if anybody has questions, but I do want to make sure we have enough time to really talk about the gum and the microplastic issue. So Howie says, I eat blueberries and I can see better for a few hours. I eat blueberries every day with organic yogurt. I love it. It's just, blueberries are just, they're brain food. I mean, there's, you have to look at a food like, let's just say blueberries, and that even if you, and like the Environmental Working Group recommends to only eat them organically, not eat them conventionally because of the the level of pesticides that are sprayed on the blueberry. But I have to be honest with you, if I'm like super hungry and I need a snack and that's all I have with me, or I go into a store or something and I can get blueberries and it's just conventional, I'm just going to buy the conventional, because again, it's just still better than a Snickers. So you start to just make, you start to have to just make specific choices based on what your needs are currently. And then just don't listen to these extremist people. It's just my best recommendation. So, you know, it's all it is extremism. And they're spending a lot of time and energy and money on health hacks, you know, all of these super expensive therapies. And it's like, oh my gosh, just let me eat food, let me get a good night's sleep, let me exercise and move my body and try to do my best. And that's all I ask for you guys too. So, let's see. Wow, that was a jawful doc. Which part? Which part, Howie? I'm trying to catch up with myself. Hey, Martial Artist 2012. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Here comes the dog. It is soaking wet outside, and he is soaking wet. Okay. Yes. How about just don't eat? I know, for real, right? So Howie says sugar, yuck, it feeds mold, yeast, and fungus. Starve the bad microbes, feed the good ones. With 100 trillion creatures inside every earthly, we are more bug than we are human. So yes, absolutely. And Cake in a Cup, thank you for being here. Good morning, for sure. Nice to see everybody in here. So let me go back over to my notes. All right, so these plastics are going to cause inflammation, hormone disruption. Hormone issues are like, this is something that so many people are looking to get answers to at this time. So we have kids, so young girls who are growing breasts and starting their periods far too young. We have women going through perimenopause and menopause, just having a disaster of a time. We have women who can't get pregnant, so infertility is hormone disruption. And of course, men don't get off the hook on that. The fertility rates for men and women are about 50% of where they were about 50 years ago. So hormone disruption is everywhere. It affects all of us as a species. In fact, there are studies that they've found microplastics in male testicles. They're finding them in the testicles of dogs. There was a study done on dogs. This will be another video because I just got a hold of the study this past week, so I'll just give you a quick insight to it. But they put plastic pants on the dogs. They were trying to simulate like yoga pants. And so they put these plastic pants on the dogs, male and female. And what they found was that the dogs ended up having microplastics in their tissues, and then it made the female dogs infertile, and it dropped the sperm count in the male dogs. So think about your pants, your yoga pants, your anything you wear that's polyester. If there's a blend in your underwear, you're going to take up the plastics. I remember seeing not too long ago an ad for these like new yoga pants, and they were promoting them, saying that they're environmentally friendly because they were made from recycled plastic bottles. That is not what you want to put on your body, because then you're going to go and you sweat and the pores open up, and now whoosh, all these plastics go straight into your system. So plastics are a huge thing, and they're coming from everywhere. And so they are going to disrupt your hormones, and sleep is a hormone, or sleep hormones are hormones. Your inability to sleep is hormonally driven. Let me say it like that. And so many people normalize their poor quality sleep. Now, if you get good or bad sleep, just drop good or bad in the comments, because sleep, if you're having poor quality sleep, it's important that you really pay attention to this and think about this. Are you a gum chewer? Are you releasing all those microplastics? Do you wear synthetic clothing? Do you do things that are constantly putting plastics into your system? And so you do want to pay attention to that. So Lily says, so it's not so much about the erythritol or xylitol as a sweetener in the gum, but rather the gum base having plastics in it. That is correct. Yes. It's the gum itself. Yep. Have to go to dinner with my family, all organic tonight. I wish the same for all earthlings. See you, Dr. Paula. Always a pleasure. Howie, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you tuning in. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you. Cake in a Cup says, I get 3 hours of quality sleep per night. Yikes. Oh boy. That is, and have you tried to work on your sleep habits? P Square says, interesting. I never had trouble getting pregnant. I could not get to full term 16 weeks max. Yeah. So that is hormone disruption for sure, because your hormones need to be in certain ranges in order for you to carry full term babies. So yeah, those are signs of hormone disruption. Now think about this too, just going here, is that back to P Squared's comment, which by the way, just so you know, so it's Pei Hey is from my channel. We have another fan on our channel, and he calls her P Squared because she's Paula. I'm Paula 1, she's Paula 2, so he calls her P Squared. So if you're like, why is she calling her P Squared? That's why. So so when you, let's just say in this case, P Squared, so you got pregnant, you were not able to carry it to full term. So now, life goes on. You're done trying to have babies, but did the situation, did you ever address, or were you ever offered information of how to address why that was happening in the first place? Because that's, I think about like if you had your gallbladder out. People have the gallbladder out. They take the gallbladder out and they're like, okay, you're fine, go on with life. Not giving them any tools or any way to move on with life without a gallbladder. That is a serious implication for you. Your liver is now going to take the brunt of all of the fatty digestion, and it actually can create non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So we have to make sure that we're giving people the proper information of the why are things happening in their body, not just, hey, we're going to take this out, or you're done trying to be pregnant, so it's fine. It's fine. You're not going to have any more babies, so it's fine. It's not fine. That stuff still exists in your system, and you've got to be able to, you have to be able to get rid of the crap, the reason it happened in the first place, because when you do that, now you're healthier for life, because it can come back and affect you in so many other ways. Only the last time, but by then I had severe endometriosis and a full hysterectomy. So, right. Okay. So now we have a full hysterectomy. And then did we ever address why you had endometriosis and a full hysterectomy? So that is a liver issue. It is a methylation issue. It's a detoxification pathway issue. It's a hormone disruption. I mean, it's all the things. So yeah, we can't just say, I'm fine now that I've had a full hysterectomy. And P Squared, I know you know that. So Cake in a Cup says, I kept my gallbladder, surgeon wanted it. I said, nope, discharged myself, went home and ate beetroot, no meat or dairy or salt for 3 months. That is outstanding. I love it. And did it work? I'm assuming it worked. So yes, right. No. N-O. And that is such great, because so many people, going back here, is that you get scared. You don't want to go against what the doctor says. People are afraid of being judged by the doctor, but really, from a hormone disruption perspective, I'll tell you a quick story. I just posted this video yesterday, I think, on my YouTube channel. And it was about a patient of mine who is in perimenopause, menopause. She might be menopausal. She's right. She's in her 50s. She's right in that range. And she was having severe pelvic pain, unable to have intimate relations with her husband because she said having sex felt like razor blades. Terrible, terrible. It's so common among women. And this is what these hormone disruptions, how they affect us in the long term. So she goes into her doctor, and her doctor does a pelvic exam and says to her, everything's fine. And now that you know everything's fine, it'll probably go away. Like the dismissal. And this is what we get a lot of. Like we get completely dismissed by medical doctors, because if they don't have an answer, then they think, well, it's all in your head. You're just imagining these things. And I just get enraged when I hear those kinds of stories. So Cake in a Cup, congratulations for advocating for yourself. As Lily also pointed out, that is, we need more people to just, there's no harm in going and getting information and then evaluating for yourself where you want to go with that. What do you want to do with that information? 5 years later, I eat what I want, except for junk snacks. They build up and I can feel my gut going sideways over time and adjust. Beetroot fixes me fast. That's amazing. Yeah. The beetroot, that helps with nitric oxide, which helps with cellular function, which also going back, yes, practicing medicine for sure. So gut issues, cellular damage. And so we have to really support our cellular pathways. And so anything to increase oxygenation to the cells, which is going to be just breathing, right? So it's nothing fancy. It's just breathing. It's just, moving your body, making sure you're getting your cardiovascular health, improving strength, making sure if you have enough, if you're pushing your muscles, and it's not always about going to the gym. And I know a lot of people on here like to, a lot of us are growing our own food and working in our gardens. And I spent 3.5 hours out in my yard today, pushing and pulling and lifting and bending and twisting and moving rocks and pulling vines. And that was enough workout. I did not need to go to the gym. So when you're just moving your body like that, so important. And it nourishes your cells. It nourishes your tissues, your muscles, your organs. So really important that you stick with that. So where I want to get to with this is going into, and if you have any more questions about that, just drop that in the comments. But I feel like, gum chewing is something that we can definitely get. I think you can move past it, and some things that you can switch to. So I had mentioned earlier about, and Howie was chiming in on that too. Apples, cucumbers, getting spearmint or peppermint oil. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, the host is running away again. The dog wants in. Okay. That's one thing we're really happy to have our pets with us. And guys, just remember that a lot of things that you are having problems with can be fixed by the biology in your body. Just give it the right nutrients, and the biology will help you to bring yourself back into line. If you don't have the diverse biology and you don't have the diverse nutrition, then you're going to have a lot of extra problems that you don't necessarily need. That's why, Cake in the Cup started with his beetroot juice. There's a lot of components in there that really helped his biology fix the problems in his stomach, whether that was creating new cells in his stomach lining, in his intestinal tract. But that biology that was produced and created with the right nutrition and the right components at a molecular level is really the key to the health and wellness that happened and was created in his stomach to fix the problems. Hi, Jeff. Guys, we're running on the 2 channels now. We also have a show coming up on Thursday. Monday, we're talking about energy, vortexes for the garden, the human body, etc. We all run on energy. Our biology needs energy. That is one of the reasons that whatever you put on your skin is absorbed. So be careful what you're putting on your skin. We're already getting it in the air that surrounds us. That's including the microplastics that Dr. Paula is talking about. So be very cognizant of what you are putting on and in your body. You want to be growing your own food. That's what it's all about. The biology talks about a lot deeper than most channels, but in gardening, it is where you can get the nutrition. And there's our host back. I'll turn it back over to Dr. Paula.
I just sent you a text message, so that was crazy. Okay, just gonna move past that. Sorry, you guys. I had a slight emergency there. I don't know why. Okay, and so Ken summed that up really great. Is that we got to take care of the microbiome in our mouth. We have to take care of the microbiome in our guts, and the plastics that we are exposed to, it is just overwhelming. So we have to really be doing the best that we can. I love lurkers. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Let me go back through, see what I missed here. So P Squared says, yes, she was dismissed as well. And it's just a really common occurrence that if a doctor doesn't have an answer, it's either all in your head or they just, they're like, nothing's wrong. And something's wrong. So I always wish for everyone to really become more intuitive with what their body needs. And the more you can take care of these smaller little things, the more sensitive you're going to be to smaller body changes. So if it comes to a crisis, like we don't want you to get to a crisis. I want you to be able to have like small sensations, inklings, and you're like, that doesn't feel so great. So like Cake in a Cup says, I can feel my gut going sideways over time, and I adjust. So before it becomes a crisis, before then it's like emergency gallbladder surgery. Like you really want to make sure that you're paying attention to all of those small changes. So that is really what we're looking for. So I did mention putting a little, keeping spearmint or peppermint essential oils with you, just putting them on your tongue, swishing it around, or putting it in a little bit of water. I got to tell you too, for anybody who grows mint, mint runs rampant in my yard, and every day I'll go out there and just, eat a couple of mint leaves. It's so good for digestion. It's great for your mouth. It's got antioxidants in it. So you can put mint in your drinks. You can just eat it straight. I'll tell you, it works really well. Being the Lebanese girl that I am, I love garlic. There's always garlic going on in my house. And I go out there and I will eat a couple of mint leaves, and it settles your stomach, because sometimes garlic can be really strong. And it'll settle your stomach, and it clears that garlic, your garlic breath. So having the mint on hand, way better than chewing gum. Let's see if I have any other notes on that. So, okay. So then the next thing that I wanted to talk about with gum chewing is headaches and jaw pain. And so the big thing really is that microplastics. I don't want you guys exposed to all those toxins. But so jaw pain, so TMJ, so this is your temporal mandibular joint. So this is your temple, this is the mandible. So they call it the temporal mandibular joint. And okay, so it should, if you put your fingers right on each joint, and you guys should all go do this in the mirror. open, close slowly. And so your jaw goes like this. It should go like this. It should glide. And it should, it should drop out and glide like this. But if you have what we call TMJ or TMJ syndrome, we call it TMJ for short. So clicking, popping, pain in the jaw. Most people who have TMJ have had that for years. And I know so many of my patients who have TMJ who are big gum chewers. I'm like, you got to stop chewing gum. Doing that all day, this is the strongest muscle. But doing that all day, and especially with the clicking and the popping, it makes it worse. It grinds down on these joints in here. So if you were to go into the bathroom or wherever, find a mirror and just go like this, and you shouldn't feel one side coming out first over another. But a lot of times what will happen is I'll check somebody's jaw and it'll go like this. And it'll go click, 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 pop, 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 as it goes like this. It doesn't smoothly go in and out of those joints. So if you're a gum chewer and you have TMJ, you need to stop the gum chewing because it's going to make this worse. If you have headaches and you're a gum chewer, it is going to make it worse. I want to show you. So watch my neck. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but every time you clench your jaw, see this this muscle complex here, this is a muscle, it's called the platysma, and it's like a sheath, and it goes over your head and your skull, and it comes down around your neck. So think of like a big hood that wraps down around your shoulders. That's the platysma. And so when you're constantly chewing, and of course, when you chew, your temporal muscles clench as well. And so you're actually causing more tightness and tension within the head. So gum chewing is destructive in so many ways. It's going to be destructive metabolically because of the plastics, but then also because of the chemicals in the regular gum, and then the artificial sweeteners, flavors, and colors in regular gum. And then in your natural gums, it's going to be more of the plastics, but then if it has xylitol and maltitol, we have those issues going there as well. And then just creating the inflammatory effect. And again, if you're somebody who has headaches and you're chewing gum, now we have this physical thing going on that's going to make the headaches worse. But you also have the chemical thing going on with the plastics and the chemicals in that product that's going to create more inflammation in the body, that's going to actually go into the brain and cause more inflammation. So you can see it becomes this like vicious cycle. Let's see what did Bentley do? I know it wasn't Bentley. I'll text you when I'm done P squared and tell you what happened. Magic Acres says lemon bulb, chives, and oregano have taken over my yard. I can hear the neighbor vegans crying they need weed whack. I've got the garlic chives. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And I just had to cut back a little of my oregano today. It's hard to cut chive. Like I hate removing any food that's growing, but you have to, because you got to make room for other things. I don't grow lemon balm. So I do grow catnip like nobody's business. I grow lamb's quarter, and what's the other one? And thistle. I have so much nettle and thistle. Like, oh my gosh, I can't get rid of that stuff. Hey, Shawnee Grows, how are you? So Shawnee says her jaw clicks. So that's a sign that it's not tracking properly and it's clicking in and out of that joint. And again, think of it like this. It's grinding. It's a joint like any other joint. So it's grinding on itself. So really good idea to get this worked on. You can actually just massage it yourself. Just start at that joint and work your way down your jaw. It's going to be painful. You're going to have some little tender spots there. There's other ways. We use cold laser in my office. As a chiropractor, if you get your upper cervical, so the upper part of your spine, you get that adjusted, it actually can help to reset the jaw, and then you do a little jaw work as well. Chiropractic is extremely effective for TMJ. Cake in a Cup says, also when you chew gum, you swallow and produce more saliva, and the gut gets moving, thinking it's going to get food in it. Yeah, we talked about that probably before you came on, where people chew gum thinking it's going to help to quench their appetite, and it does the exact opposite, and then you're more hungry. I feel one side of my jaw more pronounced than the other. Very common. Yeah, it's very common. You'll feel it, like, one side will drop out and one side might go in faster than the other side. So you can actually, let's say this side here, it'd be my right. I don't know what it looks like to you guys. So my right drops out first and then my left comes out. Well, then what you could do, you could actually put your hand, push downward on the one that's lagging behind, and push upward on the one that decides it wants to come out first, and just sit and open and close your jaw. So you're doing the opposite. You're creating the opposite tension on your jaw from how it actually tracks. I should probably do a video on that. I feel like that would be very beneficial. Mad Chick says, what was it? I'm bringing lots of lemon balm to the Food Independence Summit for Tammy. That's awesome. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make that. I think I have, I've got a little mastermind that week up north with some chiropractic girlfriends. Is good day. So, oh yeah. Okay. Saying, I thought you were saying goodbye to Lily. So, okay. So that is all I had on my notes, you guys. So the bottom line is, gum chewing, whether you are chewing natural or unnatural, is not good for you in a variety of ways. You get the microplastics, you get the chemicals, and then you get the physical insults. Now, I promised at the beginning of the show I would share excellent P squared video on jaw coming your way. I promised at the beginning of the show that I would share my most traumatic gum story with you. You guys ready? So another reason that I dislike gum is I still get these dreams since I was a little kid. I will answer that question in 1 second, Mad Chick. Since I was a little kid, I would have these dreams, still get them today, that I would be chewing gum and that it's stuck in my molars. And I'd be like, and I'm doing this and I'm like reaching in my mouth and I'm trying to pull the gum out and it's stuck in my teeth. And I can't get, no matter what I do, I can't get the gum out of my molars. That's a dream, you guys. Like, tell me why. Why am I, why do I have dreams like that? Anyway, so red light therapy, yes. Red light therapy, excellent. We talked earlier about cellular function, so improving oxygen to the cells, decreasing inflammation. Red light therapy is going to do that. This is my cold laser. So cold laser is, this has show you guys here. There's actually a TMJ setting on here. Arthritis, asthma, carpal tunnel, bursitis, concussion, contusion, digestion. So here, I'll just pick the inflammation setting. I don't know if we can see this here. Okay, see there's a red light and a purple light on this. And this is a class 2 laser. This thing's great. So you could run that along the jaw. So we do this for jaw pain. I've had people who've had dental work just run it inside the mouth after the dental work. It's really effective, again, for improving oxygen flow, decreasing inflammation, decreasing any of these tight, tense muscles. So I love the cold laser. We use that in our office. And you can see, isn't it great? It's so cool because it's so portable and it works for a variety of things. Red light therapy, there's a lot of red light therapy that you can get for home use. I just don't know the quality of them. So I don't know enough about home red light therapy units. So I think going back to your comment there, Mark, I don't know about the panels. I have not looked enough into them. So they do have like the red light blankets that I've heard are effective. Personally, I think I find that to be a little, it's like gross. You're gonna get in there, you're gonna sweat inside this vinyl, it's like a sleeping bag. So I'd be super curious about like if it's a red light sleeping bag and you're in it and there's plastics and there's microplastics. So like those are things I think about. Jeff says, I had that all shot off on my left jaws. I don't know what that means, Jeff. I'm sorry. Can you clarify? We got Fook, Lily, hell in a handbag. I don't know what that means either.
They're talking about the Australian election, so you don't need to.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. I'm like, what is going on? Thank you for that. Prime Minister Joy. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, good. Not politics in the U.S. This is good. It's good to hear other people's drama. Let's see. First time in my life, I'm totally disappointed with Australia. Yeah, they are pricey for sure. So anyway. Okay, so that is it. We are at 7:03 Eastern Standard Time. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who is here. If you could please, if you're new on this channel, if you're tuning in on Ken's channel or It's All About the Biology, I would love it if you would jump over to my channel and give that a share and give it a subscribe. That would be amazing. And of course, I appreciate you watching here and just for eternally grateful to Ken for bringing us on and letting us stream out onto his channel. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And just like P Squared did, dropped a topic in there, I do pay attention to that. So, and I do make that happen. So if there's something you want to hear about, please reach out to me and let me know. And I am happy to provide the information that serves you, not just that I think you need to hear. So thank you, Lily. Yes, learned a lot about the gum and why it's not a good idea for sure. Now you can tell everybody. So, oh my gosh, I was in a shooting accident, had the left side of my face blown off, half my teeth. Oh my God, that sounds horrible. My goodness. All right, well, God bless you. That's all I'm going to say to that. So, all right, gang. Listen, so tomorrow is Reset Monday. And then Thursday, we have Chiropractic is Sexy. That will be going live through my channel and through Chiropractic is Sexy. So you'll see that channel up here as well. And we'll also be streaming back out to It's All About the Biology there. That's every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you all there. Once again, thank you so much. Please share this information out. And I will look forward to seeing you on one of those shows, if not next Sunday on our live. Okay. Thanks so much, you guys. See ya.